Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Nick and this is my bagged EJ6. My car, it's a 98 Honda Civic Coupe, and it is bagged on airlift V2. I just put Integra brakes on it that I got off a junkyard car, and they're not working right. They're rusty as hell, and I just threw them on, whatever. I'm gonna get new rotors and pads eventually, but right now it's just not wearing right, just because it was so rusty. So if you take a look there, you can see it's not making really any contact there. Let's see if we can focus this. There you go. So it's not making any contact there or there for the most part. It's doing that on both sides. They're just super rusty. I think what happened was I threw them on. It probably gouged the pads away, ruined them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make these rotors work. But who knows? I'll probably end up having to replace them in the end. I'm not going to have them resurfaced. I think I'm just going to like sand them down, get new pads, and see what happens. But that's what I'm working on today. So let's get in and start her up. I'm going to move her into the driveway, just so I got a little bit more room to work. Compressor is really loud. It's just mounted directly to a board in the trunk. I'll fix that eventually as well. So this is my other car. It is a 94 EX, and put some fender flares on it. It really is a turd. But it's got some stuff done to it. It's high compression, tuned on the 85, and that's pretty much it. I'll do some videos on that car as well. I have some stuff planned for it. So we're gonna go in here, get some tools. This is my dad's garage, and that is a 1950 Hudson Super 6. He also has a 1970 Mach 1, which actually he's going to be back soon, so I can't work on the car here. I'm going to have to move it again. But we'll grab the jack and some other tools and get started. We do have this lift. It's pretty handy, but I've been kind of hogging this garage, so I'll let my dad keep using it. I'll just work on the ground. So these are the old spindles. They had extended studs so that I could run 15mm spacers, which I'm obviously not running right now. I got some 25 mils that just came in the mail today to go on there. I'm probably gonna have to add some camber, but no big deal. Not too much camber though. I'm just running a little bit wider tires than I was before, so I'm gonna grab some tools to do the brakes. We'll get started. Okay, so I'm gonna bust these loose and then jack up the car. Okay, so here's the brake. Basically right now my brakes suck. Oh, I did a really bad job of painting that, which I'll probably have to redo. But these are Integra brakes. I just swapped out the whole spindle, painted everything so it looked a little better. I still got the DX lines, which have a weird bend in them, so they're routed back right here and they hit the caliper, which I don't like. So what I'm gonna end up doing is just getting stainless steel like braided brake lines. Right now I just have it zip tied because this won't connect anymore just because this weird angle and whatever's going on there. So I'm gonna get some better brake lines. My brakes suck right now. I'm not sure if it's the way I got the brake lines. I know this has something to do with it. So I'm gonna take this off, probably sand these down. I know that's not the best idea, but it should get me by till I get new rotors. But let's take a look at the pads first. I'll just go ahead and start taking the caliper off. So, here's what the pad looks like. It's all grooved. It looks like garbage, which is a shame because these pads are pretty thick. But I just pulled them off the junkyard car. It was like 40 bucks total for the whole brake setup, so I don't really care. I'm just gonna get some new pads. I'll sand these rotors down. Probably end up getting new rotors eventually. And better pads. I'm just gonna get some cheapos right now. Well, cheapo ceramics so I don't get brake dust everywhere. But we'll see what goes on. I'm gonna take this caliper bracket off and get the rotor off of there. Alright, so let's take a look at this rotor. Pretty much the same story on the back side too, so let's see if we can focus that a little bit better. Yeah, so yep, I'm gonna sand these down, get some new pads, and we'll see if it stops a little bit better. Like I said, I'll replace the rotors eventually, but this should just get me by for now. Cool. Alright, so my brother got home, so we'll show his car too. He has a 2000 EX. It is normally lowered, but he's been lazy this year, so he just kind of left it winter ride height. It's swapped. It has a B18 in it, B18B, nothing crazy, but definitely a solid car. It's S2000 Moonrock paint. It looks pretty nice when it's cleaned up. But we are going to go for a ride to the store, and I'm gonna pick up some brake pads. Let's go. We've arrived at the shithole called Autozone. Not my favorite auto parts store. It's the most expensive. And the people that are here aren't as good as the other local stores. Advance is by far the cheapest. O'Reilly is open till midnight around here, so that comes in handy. And the people there are cool. People at Advance are cool. There's one guy that's here that's pretty cool. But AutoZone always has my parts in stock. The other places not so much, so that's why I'm here today. It's the only place I could get Integra brake pads after checking stock online. So we'll go in and get those pads. I might get something else that I need. We'll see. Okay, so they had the brake pads. Unfortunately, I need a rear strut mount for the EK, just because it's squeaking really bad. It's got EG mounts on the back. They didn't fit right, and I shoved like some refrigerator hose in the bushing to make it fit, which worked for a little bit. Now it's squeaking really bad, so I'm just gonna get some new strut mounts and call it good. But I guess I'm gonna have to order them either from the dealer or online. I'll check O'Reilly's. I've checked Advance Auto, which is across the street, and they don't have it. AutoZone doesn't have it, and we'll see. Alright, let's go back home. Okay, so I got the sander using a 180 grit sandpaper. I'm going to sand these rotors. Probably not the best idea. I don't really recommend it unless you're trying to save some rotors that are already toast. I would not put the money into resurfacing these rotors in general, just because I pulled them off the junkyard car and I don't care enough. So I'm going to do this instead. If it doesn't work out for me, I'll just buy some new ones. That's kind of what I plan on doing anyway. But let's go ahead. So the 180 is working, but very slowly. I'm just going to switch to 80 really quick just to speed this up, and then I'll go over it with 180. Alright, so these are all sanded down with 80 grit. They still look kind of bad, but maybe they'll start to wear somewhat normal. I sanded the shit out of them, so I'm not going to sand anymore. But I'm going to sand the back as well, and then put it on, and then we'll get working on the other side. Alright, so I'm done sanding the first one. Still looks like garbage, but that's alright. I mean, it's not alright, but we'll put it on the car, see how it stops. As long as it stops better than it did, I'm going to order new ones at this point. After trying to sand these and them still sucking really bad, I'm just going to order new rotors. So, we'll see what happens here. Oh, the Mustang's back. Alright, so this side is done. I'm going to throw the wheel back on, as well as these shitty Autozone spacers that I have on here just temporarily. I have some hub-centric 25 mils in my basement. I just had to put these on here because I had 15 mil spacers on here, hub-centric ones, with extended studs. Obviously I switched out the spindles, don't have extended studs anymore, don't feel like putting in new ones. That was just kind of a pain, I guess. Just have these on here temporarily, space the wheel out, 1/4 inch. And next video is going to be spacers and possibly dialing in some more camber. I got camber arms up there. Just eBay ones. I have a skunk 2 ball joint on the other side. I got to put a skunk 2 ball joint on this side too. But yeah, let's get started on the other side. So when putting the calipers on the first time, one of the bolts didn't really want to go in. It didn't really line up right, so I just kind of got it to start and just kind of drove it in. But it, like, never really seen this before. It like bent all the threads. The bolt on the right is the good one that was on the bottom. The bolt on the left is the top one, and all of the threads are like flattened. So that was my bad. Worst case scenario, I'll have to get a new slide pin for that caliper. New slide pin and a new bolt. Not a problem. But maybe I can just run that back in and call it good. Alright. Alright, so it got dark. So I hurried up and kind of put everything together instead of recording. So I ended up putting everything back in. It's ready to go. Everything's torqued down. Well, the brakes aren't torqued down, but I don't care about that. That stuff's just tight. Wheels are torqued down. That actual brake, that bolt that looked all nasty, that ended up going in just fine. It actually wasn't even a tight thread anymore. It just went right in. So, should be good. We'll go for a test drive, and well, first I'm going to clean up some tools, and we'll go for a test drive and see how it came out. Alright guys, so the brakes are done. Let's go take it for a test drive and make sure it's working alright. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's go for it. Oh wow, they grab right at the top now. That is good. Alright, let's do a little brake test. Oh shit. Nice. Alright, brakes are good. Brakes are working really good. Okay, we'll call that a success. Alright guys, so that's my first vlog for Rhonda the Honda. Next time will probably be either spacers on the front and fitting the wheels, probably adding camber. Shouldn't need much, but who knows. Either that or we'll do the carbon fiber wrap on the hood of the EG. I don't know. I got some other stuff planned as well, so we'll just see how it goes. But for right now, the car is stopping better than it ever has, which is great. And I'm gonna go celebrate by getting some T-Bell. So see you guys later. Peace!